In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Xero Projects and how you can use it to help manage your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe below for future free content. So Xero Projects is a really useful tool for construction and other project-based businesses to really measure and track on-site costs in accordance with the original quotation. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to run through the steps to actually set up a project from scratch, allocating time and materials into that for the quotation, and then in the back half of the video we'll look at how you actually allocate and track costs against that. So after projects has been allocated into the subscription, it can be seen on the top section of the menu. So we'll just select projects, select all projects. And then within this screen here that we're brought into the in progress screen. So for Demo Company UK, we can see these are all the projects that are currently in progress. So what we'll do now is we'll just go over to the right hand side, select new project, and we'll select draft to set up a new draft project. So from here we'll select the customer name that we're going to allocate the project to. So we'll select Bayside Club. Project name, we'll just type in London Central tiling of floor. And here we'll select a deadline for the project, so we'll just select 31st of March, the end of the month. And then in here you can actually just select a block amount if you just want to get a quick quote out at sort of a high level. We'll just build this up from a time and materials basis, so we select this box here to do it from a tasks and estimated expenses, select create, and then this brings us into the next screen where we've set up the project, and now we need to start to allocate in the time and materials. So select add task. So here we'll put in here the tiler, estimated hours. So we'll just drop in here the 40 hours, so a week's work, at £35 an hour charge out rate. So it's just worth noting here that you can actually set up predetermined rates for the different tasks. We'll not cover this off in this video, but it is useful to do just to save on the data entry time, but also to actually standardize the charge out rates across the projects. So we'll select save. And now we'll just add in another task as well. We'll put in supervisor. Whoop. Estimated hours for the supervisor, we'll just put in 10. Hourly charge out rate of 60. Hit save. And now we'll put in the materials, so estimated expense. And we'll just put in tiles. Quantity, just put 10 squared meters, £30 a unit. And then here we can decide how we're going to charge those materials on. So we could do a percentage markup, just pass on the cost, customer agree price, or just non-chargeable. We'll do a markup of 25% and just hit save. So within here now we've got the separate labour elements as well as the estimated materials costs. So we can go ahead now and send that out as a quote. So we just select quote from here, select the tasks and estimated expenses, and then this shows us the separate elements that we've currently got within the quote that we just added in. And what we can do is we can actually send out that quote with the individual line item stipulated or as one block amount. So look, we'll just go for individual items. So what this will do is it will just show everything to the customer on the quote. So we just go across to the top right hand side, save and open draft quote. And then within here we can just see the name of the customer, date of the quote. We'll just need to select an expiry date for the quote. So we'll do +7 days, so a week from today, quote number. And then here it's got all the separate line items for the quote. We could go back and change that just to be one block amount. I won't do that in this video, But yeah, that quote's now ready to send out via the green button at the bottom of the screen. So within the draft projects area, we can now see the Bayside Club job that we've just set up with the estimated invoiced amount for 2375. So we'll just go ahead and start that project by hitting the button here. And we're now brought into the area where we can start to allocate the time and material costs to the separate line items that we've stipulated in the quote. If we wanted to, we could go ahead and invoice from the top right hand side a deposit amount to the customer. So for example, if we just wanted to charge 10% up front, we could do that, or we could actually just customize the amount we wanted to charge if something had been agreed already. So I'll not run through that in too much detail, just to be aware that that's there. So I'll just come back out of that. What we'll do now is we'll just allocate time to the tiler. So we'll just go to the three dots on the right, select add time, and now we can just select the time as a block amount of hours, say 3 hours, or we could actually select start and end times if we wanted to, so maybe from 9 AM through to midday. We could do that and just hit save. So it's just worth noting that these tasks, the staff cost associated with that, are actually set up from the projects menu under staff cost rates. We'll see in a minute when we look at the profitability menu how you can actually see the margin that you're making effectively on the time that you're able to bill so far. Supervisor as well, we'll just add this in, add time. Okay, and we'll just add in 2 hours for that. So these can be connected to timesheets, which the guys can fill out on site. Again, I won't run through that in this video, but just be aware that that's an option, and I guess that's the most efficient way to do it. Expenses, so let's just add in some costs for the tiles. So we'll just come up to the top right hand side, select add expense. We'll just type in the expense name, tiles. This section here, track to estimate. That just allocates where in the quote we're allocating this cost to. So tiles, we said we're charging at 25% markup, and just leave the quantity at 1 to say we've used 1 of that today. So £30, and just save that down. So we can see here that so far we've used 3 hours for the tiler and 2 hours for the supervisor. And then we've just had 1 unit out of 10, 1 square meter for the tiles. You can see here we've got the progress tracker on the bars, so if you go above the amount, you can then quote onto the customer. That's tracked in there. What's really useful is the profitability menu, which just brings all this together. So we can see at the moment, it's the headline messages is that we've got £180 loss. That's just because we haven't invoiced anything yet. So you can see here that in terms of the time and materials we've expended so far, if we actually wanted to bill that onto the client, we could bill £262.50, and then obviously that would turn that into a profit. So we can see here the tiler, they've cost us £90, and we can bill that on at 105. So obviously there's £15 margin there. The supervisor, that's cost us £60, and we can bill that on at 120. So just to mention again, these are set in accordance with the staff cost rates you've got for those particular labour types. The tiles, we bought those in at 30, and we can charge that on at £37.50. So the overall estimate of the job is 2375. There'll be a progression monitor there for when we actually start to invoice out to the customer, and then total time recorded is 5 hours. Just go back to quotes and invoices. So if we did actually want to invoice the time and materials that we've incurred so far, we could just do so by So I'll just show you that again, just by selecting the tasks and expenses from the top right hand side. And then this just brings out everything that we've incurred but haven't billed so far. So we could just go through and invoice that, and obviously the profitability sheet would update for that within Xero. So I hope you found that useful. As always, feel free to reach out if you've got any questions. You can hit subscribe below to receive future free content. Thank you for watching.